morning from moving Minnesota. Welcome to the show on this August 27th, Tuesday, 2024. I am your host, Mike Walgrave. I'm broadcasting from downtown Minneapolis currently. In the backdrop, we have our producer, Garrett Beans Beaner, somewhere in Rock County, Minnesota. Nobody's really sure where. Today we've been following this week Ramsey County. We've been doing the 7-county metro intel gathering on the markets, fun and cool stuff to do in neighborhoods, and why you should move here. If you have any questions about real estate, we'll just throw this up here right now. Michael@walgrave.com, 612-930-2929. You can text, you can put a message in the comments here. Feel free to put a message after this show is published live, and we'll get back to you there as well. Ramsey County, it's the home of St. Paul, Minnesota, the capital of Minnesota. We're going to go through here and look at some homes. We're going to do some YouTube tours around the city. We got some trivia today. And probably talk about the state fair, which is the big hubbub in town lately. So that's all coming up. A little bit of background on who I am as a realtor. I'm a military veteran, served with the 173rd Airborne Brigade. I'm not all just brawn, though. I also have brains. I have a master's degree in sustainable management and agribusiness management and philosophy. My last gig was with Rock County Land Management, doing conservation work with farmers. So I am very familiar with all things land in a sense. So if you'd like to chat more about those kind of things, let me know. My main goal in life, by the way, is to have a veteran farm with multiple residents of veterans on it, growing organics, growing our own medicine, that kind of thing, hosting events, education, so and such. So that's a little bit about me. I'm part of the Walgrave Real Estate Group. Cousin Jason's the team leader. We're under the Minnesota Real Estate Team and RE/MAX Advantage Plus umbrella. Our physical office is in Savage, Minnesota. Yes. All right. Well, you got some trivia for us today, Beans, or you need a little bit more time there?
Let's do the videos quick.
Sounds good. Let's go to Ramsey County and the state fair area. The first is the tour, Minnesota State Capitol, like the architectural building. This is put together by the Minnesota Senate Media Services on YouTube in 2024. All that beautiful YouTube footage. Minnesota State Capitol.
The Minnesota State Capitol is.
Oh, sorry, echo. Okay, here we go. Let's try that again. I'm so sorry.
It's one of those days.
The Minnesota State Capitol is an architectural gem designed by American architect Cass Gilbert. The Beaux-Arts-inspired masterpiece overlooks St. Paul and the sweeping Mississippi River Valley. Free public tours showcasing the Capitol's history, stunning artistry, and incredible architectural features are offered by the Minnesota Historical Society. Within the chambers of the Senate and the House, stonework, murals, and intricate detail inspire lawmakers to reflect on the state's history as they debate legislative proposals that could impact the lives of Minnesotans. The historic Supreme Court chamber, with its artwork depicting the history of law, reminds the justices and all who enter that where law ends, tyranny begins. Adorning the walls of the governor's ornate reception room, historical paintings of Minnesota's role in the American Civil War, a conflict fresh in the minds of Minnesotans when the Capitol opened in 1905, are on display. During favorable weather, tours include a trip to the roof of the Capitol for a close-up view of the quadriga, also called the Progress of the State. Cast in the style of classical antiquity, the four-horse chariot, charioteer, and women representing industry and agriculture signify a golden and plentiful future for Minnesota. Visitors can take a break or grab breakfast or lunch in the historic Rathskeller, a basement cafe decorated with German motifs and mottos honoring the state's German immigrant heritage. The Rathskeller is open during legislative sessions. A multi-year renovation of the Capitol building was completed in 2017, restoring the art, furniture, and overall vision of architect Cass Gilbert while upgrading the building for modern technology and accessibility. Free guided tours are available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Tours leave at the top of the hour and are 45 minutes long. Groups of 15 or more are asked to make a reservation. For a fee, theme tours covering art, the American Civil War, and the builders of the Capitol building are also available. For more information, visit the Minnesota Historical Society website or scan the QR code and enjoy your visit at the Minnesota State Capitol.
Nice. Yeah, you walk into a structure like that, it's kind of awe-inspiring. It's like, how the hell did they build this? The vastness of it, it's pretty amazing. So lots of great architecture in the Twin Cities. Yet another reason I like this area. All right, cool. We'll move on from the Minnesota Senate Media Services over to Ramsey County. They have a video. It's called Chapter 2, The Beginnings. This should be about the train station. It's put out on YouTube in 2015. It's funny that these videos only have like 1 or 2 likes and they're created by a government entity. I don't know. I think the social media marketing is a little lacking in the government. Believe
I was muted. I didn't realize I was muted. I have the same link for both of those 2 videos, so we're gonna have to move on to the third one.
Okay. C-SPAN Cities Tour, St. Paul. This is the Alexander Ramsey House. The county is named after Alexander Ramsey. He was like the first lieutenant governor before Minnesota was even a state. This is off C-SPAN's YouTube and also in 2015.
Here we go.
Alexander Ramsey was a Minnesota politician who achieved recognition on the national stage, and a lot of people don't realize that. He was not from Minnesota originally. He and his wife were both from Pennsylvania. He was born outside of Harrisburg in 1815, and he rose through the ranks in various ways. He started his career as a lawyer in Pennsylvania and then became involved in the Whig Party, served in Congress for Pennsylvania, and that's how he made a few connections that would help him later on in his life, including working for President Zachary Taylor on his reelection campaign. And Taylor was so grateful for the work that Ramsey did for him, he wanted to appoint him the first territorial governor of Minnesota in 1849. So Mr. Ramsey went on to have a career ranging from first territorial governor in Minnesota, mayor of St. Paul, to second elected state governor of Minnesota, U.S. senator on behalf of Minnesota, serving in Washington, and also secretary of war for President Hayes. We're not sure exactly why Taylor chose Alexander Ramsey to be the first territorial governor in Minnesota. Records show that actually Ramsey was Taylor's 3rd choice. So you always think, wow, what if history went a different direction? Who would the other people have been that could have been out here? But Ramsey did accept. We know that at first he and his wife were a little hesitant to come out to this area. St. Paul in 1849 was very much a fur trading village, very small, certainly not the capital city that we know today in our modern day. And his wife, supposedly, to kind of show her sense of humor, supposedly said to him, "Minnesota? Well, where upon earth is that? Denmark?" It was a very unfamiliar place to people back in the eastern part of the United States. But as a good wife in those days, she realized that her fortunes lay with her husband and that they would end up moving to St. Paul. And they arrived here then in May of 1849. Well, the house that we're in right now was completed in 1872. It took 4 years to build. They started construction in 1868, and then in September of 1872, Mr. and Mrs. Ramsey and their daughter Marion moved in. Previously to this house being built, they called it their mansion house, and Mr. and Mrs. Ramsey got the idea for building their mansion house from the years they spent in Washington, D.C. when he was United States Senator from Minnesota. It was the same style they were seeing built in the fancy Georgetown suburb of D.C. So they knew that when they would get back to Minnesota, they really wanted to have their mansion reflective of what was being built on the East Coast, kind of that sign that they had arrived and a home that they felt that they deserve, both for a family home, but also for entertaining and showing what he specifically had achieved. We have over 14,000 original artifacts that are attached to this site, and that's pretty remarkable for any historic site, especially for a house museum. And a lot of the collections are stored here on site. Some are also stored at the Minnesota History Center here in St. Paul. This is the reception room that would have been used as a visiting space by the family. Essentially, if you would have been here as an upper class lady, specifically visiting Mrs. Ramsey, she would have special places in the home where she would visit with you. And this was one of those spaces. It was a room designed to impress visitors. It would only be used, well, usually only used during the day. If you had a dinner party here in the evening, the ladies might adjourn in here for some lemonade or some very ladylike beverage, while the guys maybe had brandy or cigars somewhere else in the house. But that would have been the intended use of this room, to impress very much a public space. One of the wonderful things in here is an 1872 Steinway grand piano that was made specifically for the Ramsey's daughter, Marion. And that was one of her gifts upon her completion of her musical studies after her year in Dresden, Germany. And it still is in working condition. It is something that we do play as often as we possibly can to keep it in good working condition. At that point in time, Steinway Company would make pianos essentially made to order. And so one of the other pianos being made by the Steinway Company in 1872, at the same time as Marion Ramsey's, was for one of Queen Victoria's daughters. And we know that from a letter that Marion Ramsey wrote to a friend of hers. One of the other items in here, there's several portraits. One in particular is of Alexander Ramsey. We would have that in here. That was about how he looked when he became territorial governor of Minnesota in 1849. As territorial governor, since you were appointed by the president, there were also policies that you were going to be expected to carry out. But we know that one of the main things that Taylor was sending Ramsey out to do was to get land. This was certainly the time of what people were calling the manifest destiny in the United States. And it was time for, in many people's minds, in the mindset of that era, to be gaining more land. And so starting in 1850, 51, there were treaties that were being negotiated with both the Ojibwe and the Dakota people in this region. And Alexander Ramsey was expected to take part in that, and he did. And in 1851, there were two major treaties with the Dakota, the Treaty of Traverse des Sioux and the Treaty of Mendota. And what those did is it opened up for settlement the area that we would call southern Minnesota, from kind of the Minneapolis-St. Paul region down south to the what would become then the Iowa border. And then later on in time, there were various treaties with the Ojibwe. But what happened then is certainly the settlers were allowed to come in, but then the Dakota people specifically were forced onto reservations in the Minnesota River Valley. And that set up kind of a house of cards that would come falling down many years later in 1862 in the U.S.-Dakota War of 1862. Very tragic part of Minnesota history, but a really important part of history to know about, and a part of history that had national implications. A lot of people throughout the country don't realize that lots of the treaties and also then the failure of these treaties and annuity payments, harsh treatment of the Dakotas, primarily on the rivers reservations, would result in bloodshed years later. Well, this is the spot in the house that Alexander Ramsey used as his office later in his career. It was originally a guest room, but later on in his life, after he had already served as U.S. Senator, this then became his office space. So if you had business up here or business with him, you would meet with him up here. There's also a lot of artifacts or mementos about his time in the various political offices that he held. One of them in particular, most people don't realize that Alexander Ramsey and his wife Anna were actually very good friends of Mr. and Mrs. Lincoln. It's usually a fascinating part of the story that Abraham Lincoln and Alexander Ramsey had already met back in the 1840s when they were both congressmen. Lincoln was, of course, representing Illinois, and Ramsey was representing Pennsylvania. He had not come out to Minnesota yet. So they already had that connection. And then years later, when President Lincoln was in the White House, that was the same time that Alexander Ramsey had been elected second state governor of Minnesota. And of course, one of the things that Mr. Ramsey, Alexander Ramsey, was very proud of was that he happened to be in Washington when the Civil War broke out in April of 1861, and then was able to pledge 1,000 troops on behalf of Minnesota to the Union. And he was able to contact Secretary of War Simon Cameron immediately about that. And Cameron had him write down that record, that offer on paper, and then take it directly to President Lincoln. So Governor Ramsey was very proud of him being able to have Minnesota be the distinction, or having the distinguishing characteristic of being the first northern state to offer troops when the Union or when the Civil War broke out in 1861. Well, one of the other items that actually is in the collections of the Minnesota Historical Society is Alexander Ramsey's journal from April of 1865 or 1865. And I have it open right now to Friday, April 14th, and also Saturday the 15th. And at that point in time, Alexander Ramsey was Minnesota's U.S. Senator. So that's why he and his wife were living in the International Hotel in Washington. And his entries here reflect a very tragic time in American history. He writes about, in the middle of his normal daily affairs, he writes about the assassination of President Lincoln. He writes about John Wilkes Booth at Ford's Theater. He mentions the attempt on Secretary Seward and his son Frederick, and then also jumps to then the inauguration of President Johnson, that he was only one of 10 senators present that day, including some from Illinois and also Vermont. He was very proud of that. One thing with Alexander Ramsey, he was always in the right place at the right time, and he always put himself there. And it's fascinating to look through his journal. Mentioned already that some of the things he writes about, they might not be deeply personal, but they're a really great insight into almost what his daily life was like. And it's really important to have these objects to help tell the story. And we're really fortunate in that. Well, later in Alexander Ramsey's political career, after he had already been United States Senator and governor of Minnesota, he was also then nominated or appointed by President Hayes to be his Secretary of War. So one of the other items here in Alexander Ramsey's office space focuses on his time as Secretary of War for President Hayes. And he served in that position from 1879 to 1881. And then his paper holder dossier he is sitting on the desk. You can clearly see it states his name and then also his title in the Hayes administration. The two men, President Hayes and Alexander Ramsey, had met many years earlier when they were serving in the U.S. Senate. They both had been governors, so they were part of that club of former governors, then U.S. senators, and then, of course, Hayes had become a friend by that point and then was elected. Later, after his time as Secretary of War, he also still served another presidential administration, kind of overlapping between the Garfield and the Arthur administrations. Kind of little-known committee named the Utah Commission was put together, and they were supposed to explore this quote-unquote problem of what to do with this territory of Utah. People in that area wanted to become a state. They wanted to be admitted to the Union. But there was a problem with that, according to some people, because a lot of the people living in the area were Mormon, and therefore they were practicing polygamy. And the country was very much up in arms about that. So these ex-politicians, including Alexander Ramsey, were sent out to that area where they were supposed to interview people living in that area, find out what really was happening, what they really were doing. The committee never really did end up making any grand decision. Utah was later admitted to the Union, but people felt very strongly about that issue, enough that a special panel or commission was set up. And there's different collections pieces, both here at the Ramsey site and also at the Minnesota History Center. But two we have on the desk, one about the whole doctrine of Mormonism, and another one, a pamphlet specifically dealing with plural marriage, that question of polygamy. So there's a lot more issues. Some of those issues we always keep hearing about in the modern day as well. So it's fascinating to know that some of the same issues people in that time period were still wondering how to deal with as well. A lot of people really felt, especially in the later Victorian era and early 1900s, that Alexander Ramsey was one of the people that really helped create what we would consider Minnesota. And you can certainly say that. I think that's fair to say. Again, though, for good or bad, you have to be very conscious about what that means in our modern day. Everything from Ramsey County being named after him, that's where St. Paul is located, to there's a waterfall out in western Minnesota, Alexander Ramsey Falls, at Alexander Ramsey Park in Redwood Falls. So his imprint is in a lot of places, and it's important to realize what he meant at that time. I think Alexander Ramsey was very conscious of what his legacy was, and now looking at his legacy through a 2014 lens, we can gain a better understanding of how controversial but yet compelling his legacy can be, for good or bad. We have to be able to address that head on, and I think that's important to do.
Yeah, interesting. I have a theory on why he was the third pick that actually said yes to this job. It probably had everything to do with his wife. The other two wives and their husbands are like, the wives are like, no, we're not moving to the middle of nowhere to go to war with the native people. That's a bad family plan. But anyways, Alexander Ramsey, probably his name too. What was it Alexander the Great, and then Ramsey of Egypt? Kind of has that name value, but
Alexander the Ramsey.
Alexander the Ramsey. There we go. I don't know if being proud of being Secretary of War should be a thing for anybody. Holy cow. Anyways, interesting history. That's the background of Minnesota in a nutshell, and it had a lot to do with that guy. Yeah. Well, let's move on to the next. I think we got one more video here.
Yeah, we can show a little bit of this one. It's a longer one, but I skip where we need to be.
Give us a general idea of what's going on at the Minnesota State Fair. This is produced by Live on Patrol. I believe it's the 5-O's marketing in Ramsey County. So this is 5 days ago on YouTube. It's kind of cool. Live on Patrol, Minnesota State Fair.
Checking your phone to make sure that.
Yep.
I got it. There we go. There we go. Know that we can still hear. All right.
Okay, there it is.
Did you see the drone cam?
See the drone cam.
There we go. There you are, backseaters. All right.
Okay, there it is.
Stevie, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yep. Do you see me yet or not?
Yeah, I'm on you right now.
on us.
All right. Well, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm going to drive now. If you can stay on me, and obviously you don't have to stay over me, but stay on me.
Yep.
And veggie fries on my right, nut rolls on my right.
Oh, those chocolate dipped nut rolls
Chocolate
are
dipped nut
really
rolls.
good.
Cotton
I
candy.
This is cool.
I better just turn my rears on. People get a little confused. The butterfly house.
We all know where
That was
they're
a
headed,
horse.
though, right?
Dan Patch was a horse, a racehorse.
They're going to find,
Something probably fried.
yes, in
I
doughy.
might have to go in that arcade. I usually go in the other playland.
In a circular
That arcade's
form?
looking pretty good right there, Pat.
Yeah, it is.
I told
You
her
know how
my
the
wife is
police
next
got that
up.
donut joke,
Spacey.
though. Like, that was like some of the only things that were open at that point of the day. So the cops would stop in at the donut shop as they're cooking up the donuts for the day. So it's not because they're lazy. Oh,
How's it look?
ooh,
cool.
fun. There we
That's
go.
Oh, yeah, a lot of fish.
That's what you need in
That's
your
what-
backyard,
very
not a
cool.
pool.
Oh, look at that. You can actually look at all the fish.
Well, aquaculture, perfect.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty cool.
You can see them swimming in there. Now we're talking. Oh my goodness gracious!
Holy smokes.
Oh, whoa! That looks like fun. What's that big one down there? Sturgeon? Garfish?
Probably a pike.
Looks like it might be a
It
gar.
was.
Yeah. That looks like fun. What's that big one down there? Sturgeon? Garfish?
Oh,
Hey Steve.
they do have gar in the Mississippi
I don't
River.
know. I don't know if you're probably me. Never mind. Don't worry about it. My volume in my car is repeating myself. All right, we're gonna go over here to the. Well, we're not too far from the Coliseum. If we went to the right, we'd get all the animals, which is fun. But you really can't see them on the drone, so we're gonna go this way. Oh, those are the new rides that are out. That one right there, it goes around in a circle. Is it called the Kamikaze or what's it called?
I don't know.
I
Show
saw
us.
it. I saw it. I'm gonna. Steve, can you show that big ride? Try not to hit it.
There we go.
You still there, Stevie?
Nice. Steve's first day on the job with
Hang
the
on.
drone.
Sorry. Are you still there? Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm there.
I'm gonna ask this guy.
Fire at 295 Galen.
Hey, is that the new ride this year? Is that the new ride?
New ride?
They said there's two new rides. I think one of them they go around.
That one's always been here. That one's been here.
Oh, really?
What else we got
Oh,
here?
that's good. That's good.
Oh, there we go. That's a good shot. 1 second.
Let's say Clark really loved Wally World.
Nah,
I didn't know there was an F word in that movie. Well, that was a little embarrassing.
Mississippi River Valley.
Our apologies.
Up in Falcon Heights. It's kind of, I think, northwest of St. Paul, just a little bit.
Our apologies.
Notice there's trees here for everybody living in Arizona.
It's beautiful.
Are we stuck here? I guess we're stuck.
We're momentarily stuck, anyways.
We're stuck.
Go ahead.
Wonder, you ever flown a drone before, Garrett?
Not successfully. Or well.
The moose should have told you we're close.
Yeah, it's kind of, when you think about it, that thing
Yes,
could
sir.
just fall out of the sky. Get blown
All
by
right,
some
we're
gust of
gonna take
wind.
her over. Thanks, buddy. Let me know when you change batteries.
All
Yeah,
right.
you get the idea there. Very nice. That was from the Live on Patrol YouTube page from 5 days ago. Now we're going to go into the segment of Michael
We
Walker.
do trivia next. Do you want to do a quick ad song? And we can, while I get the trivia set up.
Sure.
Okay. It's processing right now. So we'll play a quick song and then we'll do some trivia, everybody.
What's the name of the tune?
It's the Griffin.
Come along for the ride where stories and songs are always strong. Tune in now, you can't go wrong.
I don't know if this is appropriate for the show, but okay.
No?
Out on the road where the wild winds roam. Drifter radio's got the stories to own. Foosball champs with the game that's on. www.drifterradio.com. From hitchhiker tales to a drifting call, we bring you news like a soothing song. Traveling stories that feel like home. www.drifterradio.com. Drifter Radio, where the journey's long. Hitchhiker's tales and a traveling song. Foosball fights, where the fans stay strong. www.drifterradio.com. From coast to coast, where the travelers hum. We're your guide when the road feels glum. Stories from the road.
All right, here we go.
All right. Is that our new sponsor for the show? DrifterRadio.com? Sounds like it. Yeah, those are, I appreciate that, Garrett. If anybody wants to know a little bit more about me, I got plenty of books out there that I published talking about the memoirs. I'm still rocking through my drifting days of trucking 20 years ago. That'll be the next book. Following that up, drifting around the country, there was multiple hitchhiking adventures from La Crosse to Las Vegas in 2004 to 2006 period. After that, went drifting in the infantry, Afghanistan, Italy, around Europe. And then after that, the final drifter chapters will be drifting Ole Miss when I took a raft down the Mississippi River. So, yeah, if you didn't know, now you do. So,
All right. Our first trivia question on Ramsey County.
What is the county seat of Ramsey County, Minnesota? Minneapolis, St. Paul, Roseville, Maplewood.
I'm going to have to guess the state capital. St. Paul would be B.
Okay.
What do the viewers win?
All the points.
All the points? How about I just send them some of these books I was just talking about?
Oh, there you go. All right, the correct answer is B, St. Paul. All right, number 2.
Where was Ramsey County established? 1839, 1849, 1859, 1869.
Your hint is it happened before Minnesota became a state. There was original counties in the Minnesota territory. I'm going to go B.
All right. Everybody get your final answers in. The correct answer is B, 1849.
Michael Colady is killing it. He's running currently.
All right. Number 3.
Who was Ramsey County named after? Alexander Ramsey, Henry Sibley, William Le Duc, John Pillsbury.
I'm going to just take a wild guess here and say A.
All right. The correct answer, everybody, is actually D, John Pillsbury. No, I'm just kidding. It's A.
Yeah, they have a Pillsbury mill here, downtown Minneapolis, or used to anyways.
Used to be. Number 4.
How many square miles does Ramsey County cover? 150 square miles, 170 square miles, 190 square miles, 210 square miles.
It's one of the most densely populated counties, if not the most, in the state of Minnesota. So I'm going to go with one of the smaller numbers.
Okay.
B.
The correct answer, everybody, is B, 170 square miles. Number 5.
What major river runs along the western border of Ramsey County? Mississippi River, St. Croix River, Minnesota River, Rum River.
They are all in Minnesota, so this might be a little bit more difficult question.
Oh, you think this one's hard? The next one's going to be is really good one.
Gonna have to go with A, the Mississippi River. River dividing Minneapolis, Rapid, and Ramsey County.
All right. The correct answer, everybody, is A, the Mississippi River.
You weren't too far off, Michael Colity. There's probably about 5 miles. Like Minnesota meets up with the Mississippi, and it just about gets to Ramsey County.
All right, here we go.
As of the 2020 census, what is the population of Ramsey County? 452,352, 502,352, 552,352, 602,352.
That's a good one. There's no it's not all weird. Usually it'll be like 100, 200, 300, or 723 and a half. It's like,
Yes, this is much better. This is a much tougher question, but still, it still bugs me that they have over 500,000 some people, and they got it down to the 52. Like, really?
Yeah. All right, everybody get your answers in.
C.
The correct answer is indeed C.
They can just round that number up. I don't know. Do you round numbers up? When you get to that many digits, 552 is pretty approximate for what you're going to need it. Moving on. All right. We got any more there?
Number 7. Here we go.
Hey.
Oh, I hate that it does that, but we'll work with it.
Which major interstate highways run through Ramsey County?
Little Parker must have been studying up when he was here in the
and
cities
Interstate
the other day.
94.
He's got them all right
Interstate
so far.
35E and Interstate 94. Interstate 494 and Interstate 694. Interstate 90 and Interstate 94.
What is Tate 94? The computer's talking for me.
That's the end of the comment because we can only post so many characters per comment.
Oh, I see. Well,
All right.
I'm going to get B.
Okay. Everybody get your final answers in. The correct answer, everybody, is B, I-35E and I-94.
When I used to pass through here on the way to Laverne for family reunions, I'd always get so backward mixed up in the 90s even. Like, this place is built around so many lakes and rivers, so the roads are all over the place. And I would have been completely lost had I not had GPS when I got up here.
For real. And all the one-way roads are up there in the cities and downtown. And
and then you can't see like the horizons like Rock County has. And then everything's north, south, east, and west for a road. Here it's like, and even back in the 90s, they didn't even put basically like the highway signs on a lot of places. So spent a lot of time being lost here trying to figure out where the casinos were back in the 90s. But anyways, all right. Well, thank you for the trivia there.
Oh, we got more.
Oh, well, let's do it. Let's do some more.
All right, we got 2 more we can do. Number 8.
What is the largest city in Ramsey County? Roseville, Maplewood, Shoreview, St. Paul.
It's also the second largest city in the state. I'm going to have to go with St. Paul.
All right, everybody, the correct answer is St. Paul. All right, here we go. Our number 9.
What political party has traditionally dominated elections in Ramsey County? Republican Party, Democratic Party, Independent Party, Green Party.
I'm not sure. I've never even heard of the last one.
You haven't heard of the Green Party?
No.
They were like one of the primary forces of alternative medicine back in the day. So.
Dang. I just thought it was making up stuff.
No, it's real. There was some guy trying to get signatures a couple of weeks ago about getting people on the ballot for the Green Party.
All right, everybody get your answers in. What do you think, Wally G?
What about the Whig Party? What happened to them? That was what Ramsey was part of. Let's go with the B, the Democratic Party.
The correct answer, everybody, is B, the Democratic Party. All right, our last trivia question.
What is the name of the public school district that serves St. Paul? Roseville Area Schools, Mounds View Public Schools, St. Paul Public School District, White Bear Lake Area Schools.
Gonna go with the obvious of C here.
Okay. The correct answer is C.
Yes. Good job, everyone. Good guessing. May all your choices be 100% correct this week, if possible.
All right. Give me a couple minutes to get all these houses loaded up real quick.
Sure. We're going to do the michaelwalgrave.com property search in Ramsey County. Yesterday we did the most expensive properties in the county. Just to give you what the top end is bringing in at. That $3.5 million piece of land on that island in White Bear was the top of the thing, and they were looking to build for $5.9 million. If you're looking for a builder, for example, or land and a builder, Michael at walgrave.com, 612-930-2929. The next part, we're going to go check out the average home price. The average home price in Ramsey County is $423,490. The average sold price is $370,141. Probably more people buying their entry-level, first-time home buyer kind of thing with the townhomes. That's kind of that price range. But yeah, we'll take a look at the $400,000 to $450,000. See what the move-up home price is after your first home.
All right. Ready when you are.
First one is in White Bear, Minnesota at 530080 Circle. This is rolling in at the top of the range that we're looking at $450,000, single family home, built in 1987. 4 beds, 2 baths, 1,705 square feet on 0.37 acres. And it's in the heart of White Bear Lake. Steps from Memorial Beach, a mile from downtown shops and restaurants. It's near the Delwood Country Club and the White Bear Yacht Club. Home has been completely remodeled from top to bottom. Kitchen boasts brand new cabinets, granite countertops, and stainless steel appliances. New LVP flooring, doors, trim, windows, carpet, light fixtures, and paint throughout. You'll feel like you're living in a new construction home with the charm of developed residential neighborhood. Lower level has newly finished to include 2 additional bedrooms and a 3/4 bathroom. The wheelchair ramp off the garage brings you into the lower level mudroom, plus an additional flex space that could make a great office. Outside, you'll enjoy overlooking the large lot on the brand new composite deck. The freshly painted exterior adds additional curb appeal as well. Make this beautiful move-in ready home yours today. 1,705 square feet. Rolling in at $450,000 and a price reduction. Oh, very nice. Moving on down the road to the next place. We're at 1606 Goose Lake Road on Gem Lake, or near Gem Lake. $450,000. This one is a single family home built in 1992. 4 bedroom, 3 bath. 2,585 square feet, so 800 more square feet, and on 0.6 acres, almost double the acreage of the last home, for the same price. On a cul-de-sac on over half an acre, this thoughtful, updated home in White Bear Lake Schools is sure to impress. As you walk in, you're greeted with an open floor concept. The kitchen boasts a large kitchen island with Brazilian granite and beautiful hardwood floors that extend into the dining area. Renovations continue throughout the home with immaculate new bathroom featured marble tile in the main bedroom primary suite. Main level laundry and mudroom connects to the 2-car garage, makes life easy on all on one level. The lower level has 2 bedrooms, ample space for entertaining, workout room, movie nights with projector, and more. Updated mechanicals include newer septic, furnace, and water heater. Come see for yourself. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2,585 square feet. A comment about that last home. I was surprised to see that there's not a lot of homes that are equipped with wheelchair and handicap accessible kind of stuff. It's a very small percentage, which I'm surprised. In this multi-generation and getting older and living in your home still kind of thing, I mean, it's kind of important. And then, having anything life throws at you, you kind of need stuff like that. Should be built into the architecture more so. So put that on the list with plant room. We need new things to come out here for real estate. All right, moving down the road, we're going to 2557 County Road I in Mounds View. This is to be built. It's going to be a single family home. They're pricing it at $429,900 for the base model. This will be built by Boulder Contracting. If you you'd like to reach out and have them build you a home or build you this home, you can reach me at michael@walgrave.com, 612-930-2929. This is below plan for 2 beds, 2 baths to be built this year, finished this year maybe. That'd be something to ask. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, square footage 1,461 on 0.33 acres. Main level living, that's great if you're getting older in age or in a wheelchair, complete with open floor plan, beautiful primary suite with spacious walk-in closet, custom cabinets, millwork, granite counters, asphalt driveway included, located within walking distance of restaurants, shopping, and fitness centers. Call today to get started on your dream home. Very nice concept. Moving down the road to Little Canada. Maybe we're moving north up the road here to Little Canada. 482 Fir Avenue. This is a townhome. Rocking in at $405,635 and change. 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 1,777 square feet. This is new construction as well. Should be ready in November. It's time to rethink townhouse living in the St. Clair. I guess that's the style of the home, the ideal home lifestyle and location you have been searching for. St. Clair offers an abundance of natural light along with 3 spacious bedrooms, 2.5 luxurious baths, an essential upper level laundry, and gorgeous 2-story foyer. Main level offers an open concept floor plan with a relaxing great room and a beautiful kitchen with quartz countertops, ceramic tile backsplash, and white cabinets. Very nice. If you get a hold of them before they finish it all, you could probably add your custom touches for extra dollars. But I think I'd be pretty happy with what's going on here. Cool townhome, $405,000. Next house on the list, head back over to White Bear. Is 3795 Grand Avenue. Single family home, $404,900. This one rolls in at, built in 1966. So this area is a little bit older, more developed and mature as they built out from St. Paul. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 1,742 square feet, approximately the same size as the previous townhome. This one, however, is on 0.24 acres. Different style of the day. Fenced-in yard, perfect for outdoor activities. Nestled in a fantastic location on a quiet, low-traffic street. This home offers peace and privacy. Interior features of this home include a cozy living room with a brick surround fireplace, hardwood floors, and large windows that let in an abundance of natural light. The kitchen showcases stainless steel appliances, modern white cabinetry, and tile floors. Perfect for both style and functionality. Recent upgrades include a new washer and dryer, new kitchen appliances, a new roof in 2022, and a new water heater in 2024. So everything's up to date, it looks like. The bathroom features beautifully tiled showers, adding a touch of elegance throughout. The home is adorable as it is functional, offering comfort and charm in every corner. 4 beds, 2 baths, or 3 baths. 0.24 acres and $404,900 around the median for the average price of St. Paul home. Okay, finally on the list. We got the last one here. We're going over to 1863 Albert Street North in Falcon Heights. This is near where the Minnesota State Fair is, kind of a segue between the next segment. It is a single family home built in 1957. Rocking in at $409,999. 4 bedroom, 3 bath, 2,361 square feet. Pretty big home for 1957. 0.23 acres. Up in Falcon Heights, Minnesota. Rare opportunity to own this quality built brick rambler on a corner lot in a highly sought after neighborhood. This home's sprawling floor plan, complemented by natural hardwood floors, offers 4 beds, 3 baths, an attached 2-car garage, large living room with a fireplace, half a bath off the eat-in kitchen, good-sized deck off enclosed porch for sitting room. Finished lower level offers 2 bedrooms, 3/4 bath, and a large family room with fireplace. convenient accessibility to bus lines, local schools, parks, state fairgrounds, Como Park, as well as tons of restaurants and shopping. Quick possession is available. So they sound motivated. Cool. And that concludes the MichaelWalgrave.com Ramsey County property search for today. Thank you, Beans, for clicking us around here.
Absolutely.
Driving the show. Events in Ramsey County. Let's just talk State Fair. That's the big thing happening. They crushed records of attendance on the first couple of days. I think maybe they beat the first weekend's attendance record. So there's a ton of people showing up. I don't know what happened in the last couple of days. We got hit by 90-degree temperatures and some crazy storms yesterday and this morning. Today, though, is a very nice day. It's probably be the best day to go to the state fair so you can avoid the weekend crowd, and the weather seems to be cooperating. So check that out.
State fair video for us.
Rock and roll. We got free live music and shows. 900 shows are running. 100 different acts over 12 days and nights.
Dang.
Roll that beautiful YouTube footage. Yeah.
Belly flop on the count of 3. One.
See, not traditional Minnesota.
No, they got so much rain.
Was this from yesterday?
This is 12 hours ago.
Really?
That's crazy. Yeah, they got so much rain.
Yeah. It was a scary looking cloud passing through town last night. Wow. I hope everything's okay up there. I don't know how clean that is to be jumping in that water. Yeah. Anyways, if you're looking to go to the state fair, their address is 1265 Snelling Avenue North, St. Paul, Minnesota, up in the Falcon Heights area. So I tried to find how much the state fairground was worth, but I couldn't find an estimate on that. I'll have to look in. Maybe I can figure that out this week, but be curious to know what a festival ground costs on a state level. So I think we pretty much covered what we're going to cover today. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us and learning about Ramsey County and the Twin Cities of Minnesota. Hopefully this is good information for you to get an idea of your neighborhoods that you might potentially move to or are currently living in. If you have any questions about real estate, agribusiness, conservation, veteran issues, I don't know, give me a shout. Michael at Walgrave.com, 612-930-2929. If I don't have the answer, I could probably find somebody that will. So this is what good agency is about. Again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Beaner, for taking care of the podcast and the backdrop. We will be back here tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. And then we'll talk some more Ramsey County and Twin Cities real estate. You guys have a great day. Stay out of the flood waters, and we'll check you tomorrow. Peace.